Just before we concentrate on the final championship of the season, let's just mention those winners of titles not already given credit. Kevin Dawson won the men's 100 for the second time, but had to give best to Gethin Butler in a memorable 12-hour battle. Dawson, though, clinched the BBAR for the 5th time. But now to the hill climb itself, traditionally the final highlight of the time trialling season. The Lancashire Road Club had deservedly been given the task of promoting this event on the legendary Rake, a half-a-mile climb which starts right in the heart of the central Lancashire town of Ramsbottom. And straight away let's point out Ian Stott of Blackburn and District CTC, who made no secret of their desire for the team title in front of a home crowd. And Ian didn't let them down, setting the early pace with a time of 2 minutes 45.8 on this very difficult climb. The next seeded rider was Andy Tinsley of Team Travelwise. No stranger to the Rake, Tinsley knew the best line to take. By the time he'd conquered the final steep section, his time was 2 minutes 41.1. He'd gone into second position, for the moment anyway. Next of the seeded riders was Race Scene's Richard Dean, looking good here on the mid-section of this famous climb. But it can still seem a long way to the finish, even on a shortish climb like this one, and his time of 2 minutes 48.1 would put him outside the top 20 at the end of the day. A fine but cold day had tempted the usual crowd to this annual showdown, although Cottingham roadman Mike Moss must have wondered if it was all worth it, as he struggled to a time of 2 minutes 51.5. Much faster was Chesterfield's Richard Taylor, the only man to beat the defending champion Jim Henderson in the run-up to this title race. He almost caught this unfortunate rider, one of the reserve entrants Harvey Taylor of the Kirby CC, who clocked 3:22.1, as Taylor came sprinting up behind him. A superb effort this, and a new fastest time of 2:33.9 was Taylor's reward. Tim Bailey, now with Arctic 2000, looked good all the way up, and like every rider in this traditionally atmospheric event, received huge support from crowd and commentators alike. Up to the finish he came to record a time of 2:39.8, which would ultimately put him in 11th place. The sun was shining on his teammate Danny Axford, a man with a pretty good hill climbing pedigree in recent times. But Axford wasn't quite able to match Bailey's time on this occasion. Struggling just a little over the hardest part of the course, Axford eventually crossed the line in a time of 2 minutes 43.2. Halfway through the field now, and this is former bronze medalist Steve Marchant. But the South Eastern Road Club man doesn't specialise in hill climbs these days, and he could only record a time of 2 minutes 42.5. Perhaps it's worth mentioning at this point that the hill record is held by Jeff Wright with 2 minutes 14.0. Here comes Anglia Sport all-rounder Graham Sturzaker. He was on his way to a time of 2 minutes 46.2. And this is Blackburn and District's Carl Halliwell on his way to a good time of 2:44.5 to put his club in pole position for that team title. National officials Phil Heaton and Trevor Bracegirdle were amongst the vast crowd enjoying this final title race of the season as they witnessed a stylish effort from Hamish Haynes of Atom Elite. Certainly, he looked good on the lower slopes.
Somebody just said looks overgeared. He could have had a wrong choice for it.
But the sting is in the tail as ever on the rake, and Haynes was one of many wishing for a lower gear at this point. The verdict, 2 minutes 49.2, and no ultimate place in the top 20. On a 9 mark, usually reserved for the slower riders, was Lou Hopkinson of Chesterfield Coureurs. But Hopkinson showed himself to be undeserving of such treatment by clocking 2 minutes 50.5, a time which would ultimately place him 27th out of the 115 starters. I doubt there'll be any more 9 marks for Lou. Behind him came the Provision Planet X roadman Mark Lovett. The winner of 5 Premier Calendar events in the last 2 seasons, Lovett is not a regular on the hill climb scene and doesn't even possess a fixed wheel machine. But class tells, as they say, and a time of 2:38.7 put him just behind Eberl and Binks in 4th place as the event entered its final quarter, yet with several favourites still to appear.
Back, he said on his entry before. I don't know whether that was meant to influence the organiser or not. A couple more times while we're waiting for 96.
At number 99 came another rider undeserving of a 9 mark, Ashfield's Chris Storer. Tackling the steep upper slopes with great determination, Storer went on to clock 2:49.3 for an eventual 25th place, 2 places better than Hopkinson managed earlier off a similar mark. Shades of the Tour de France as Loughborough student Keith Flory went next, immediately in front of twice 4th place Tom Anderson. But the lightly built Anderson was again striving to get amongst the medals, and the former juvenile and junior winner on this hill managed a time of 2:35.3 to go into 2nd place, just 1.4 seconds behind Taylor. And so to 1998's surprise bronze medalist Gary Baker of Anglia Sport. The former professional was out for another top 3 finish, but he knew that competition was tough. He certainly gave it everything he had, but the clock stopped at 2 minutes 38.6, just a whisker slower than Eberl and Binks. Now only Wright and Henderson could topple Taylor and Anderson. But now to the 1994 champion Jeff Wright of Team Travelwise. 5 times a winner on the rake and the current course record holder. He wanted to reverse the 1998 positions when Jim Henderson got the better of him by exactly 3 seconds. The noise of the crowd swelled as he neared the upper slopes, but he seemed to be fighting the gear just a little, and his time of 2:27.2, whilst enough to take him into the lead, was 13 seconds outside his own hill record. The door had been left open for Henderson. Two from the end came Ken Russell of the Edinburgh Road Club. Scotland's new road race champion was having his first experience of the rake, but made a great effort. Here's Russell nearing the finish now, on his way to a good time of 2:42.2 that eventually put him into 13th position. And so too the defending champion Jim Henderson, by now having finished his university studies and having joined Terry Wright Cycles. Henderson, who won the rake climb at his first attempt in 1998, 2 weeks before winning the national championship, was aware of Wright's time before he came to the line. Looking totally focused, the defending champion knew exactly what he needed to do to take the title for a second time. With a style quite similar to Wright's in many ways, away he went up this 947-yard climb, knowing that the higher up the hill he went, the louder the encouragements of the crowds would be. He was clearly going well, and as the noise reached a crescendo, he crossed the line in a superb time of 2:22.2. He'd done it again by a clear 5 seconds. And so, to confirmation of the result, Henderson winning the championship for a second time, Wright having to settle for the silver medal, and Richard Taylor coming into the medals for the first time, going home with that bronze. A great day out for the local boys. The Blackburn and District CTC met as Eberl, Helliwell and Stott, celebrating in fine style. And so the final championship of the season had been decided, and many hundreds of people from the world of cycling drifted slowly away